This is the Devil's Bounty Hunter, Jason Dredd, and you are listening to the 3 Count Podcast.
Hit him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, know what y'all like. Hit him with a 3 count. On the top row, crowd already know how I fly him to the flow like. Hit him with a 3 count.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy, your nephew, your cousin, it's the Don, and you are listening to, or you are watching, the 3 Count Podcast Debate Show. Let's go down the roster. Introducing first, he is rocking that 3 Count Podcast merch like no one else can. He is the landlord of the Dog Pound. He is the man that runs the show because I don't do shit. I don't run shit. I just talk shit. Ladies and gentlemen, the producer, he is the Red Dog, Cliff Miller.
Hey, it is Air Force veteran, intel specialist, the one they call Red Dog. And as you can see, I had the 3 Count Podcast hat. It is not available for purchase. This is one of a lifetime thing. And then, yeah, you know, we're back. Welcome to our show.
And introducing next, he is Cliff's best friend. Bro, you know who you look like right now, Anthony? With those glasses, do you know who you look like?
Who?
You look like George Lopez.
Fucking racist. Fuck.
The low
You look like a combination of Drew Carey and George Lopez.
Lower.
Like if George Lopez and Drew Carey had a baby, it'd be you.
Yo, Simon Scary.
Like you would. But anyway, introducing now, he is Cliff's best friend. He is the host of Returning to the Ring. He is the franchise of the 3 Count Podcast. He's rocking a Denver Broncos hat because they are some ass, just like his show. Ladies and gentlemen, Lou, the franchise.
My show's ass, our fucking host is ass. It is the Wheaties eating, the guy that has diabetes. I don't know what I'm doing, but I can finally see because I saw some glasses. And fuck you, Chaz, I am back.
Yep, you're back.
Shut the fuck up, Chaz. I'm taking over. Next on our roster. I'm playing.
This man said, the Wheaties eating. I have diabetes.
Right.
I'm not ready for this, man.
Oh man, let's get to the intro. Introducing Matt, last but certainly not the least, he is my little brother. That is the only reason he's on this show. The only wrestling he watches is SmackDown and, you know, Wrestle Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the drip master. Drip on these hoes all day long. Drip JJ.
Drip driving.
What?
Got the club vibing.
What?
Taking the sidewalks for keeping me off the streets. Chitty banging. Studying every day in.
It's
That's
the
not bad.
fucking black vanilla ice. Holy shit.
Oh, shit. we just...
Oh man. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 3 Count Podcast. Thank you for all of you who are joining us live, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Streamlabs, wherever you're watching us live. Thank you for tuning in. For all of our audio listeners on our podcast, thank you for checking us out and listening to us wherever you're listening to us, whether it is your morning commute to work or whether you're just chilling in the house listening to some guys talk about wrestling. Thank you for your support. Go ahead and subscribe if you're on our YouTube page. And like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all at 3 Count Pod or 3 Count _ pod, as you can see on the overhead above us. Twitter is 3 Count _ pod, Facebook 3 Count Podcast, YouTube 3 Count Podcast, and everything else is 3 Count Pod. So definitely support us there. Let's get through some announcements real quick. So Cliff, we got Now Into the Ring coming up, right? So what we got coming down the pipe?
I just want to put this out there, right? That I'm legit watching I'm watching the show right now to see all of our chats that are coming in. And I forgot I left a closed caption on. And when JJ says this thing, it says titty bang. I was like, oh no. All right. For returning to the ring, or I'm sorry, for now entering the ring, We actually have Abs is going to be dropping his episode on Tuesday, I believe, if I remember right. Abs, I think we have Kyle Shaddix that's going to be coming up. I know we have a bunch of episodes that are getting ready to debut. So I'm actually super excited for the calendar. I just have to double check. I just can't remember like off the top of my mind because we've been recording a lot of content for Now Entering the Ring. We've had a lot of people come through. As you guys saw recently, Maddie Rinkowski of AEW was on our show. And now, that episode has just debuted. I know Abs, like I said, will be joining us. We also have the great and powerful Myron Reed out of MLW.
Whoop, whoop.
We just finished that episode up. So that episode will be debuting. I can't wait to get him on the show.
That is right? The Myron Reed, right? Of Injustice with Jordan Oliver, his tag partner.
Yeah. And what's fun?
We'll make sure.
What's fun is if you guys listen to episodes for Now Entering the Ring, we always ask the wrestler to nominate a wrestler. Jordan Oliver was that guy on that episode. So when it debuts, you guys will hear that too. But as far as this week goes, like I said, we have Abs. He's going to be coming out 420. Shout outs. And then on 422, we have Rico Hendricks will be debuting as well, coming to the show. So we do have yeah.
That's my boy right there. The new 1CW Cruiserweight champion. It just happened yesterday. So shout out to Rico. So his episode's dropping. So that's cool.
Yep. And then, like I said, we have Kyle Shaddix getting ready to debut the following Tuesday. So we'll talk about that next Sunday as well. And then after that, we do have the great Myron Reed, and we also have Gypsy Mac going to be on the show coming out of the Cactus League of Arizona and New Mexico. So yeah, a lot of good interviews coming up. A lot of good interviews getting ready to debut as well. So just wait, tune in. You'll be able to see everybody.
That's what's up. Hey, Anthony, got anything for me?
I do.
Awesome.
Your boy is getting back on track. I got a new job I started this week, and we're going to start having a schedule. So May 6th, yes, the day after Cinco de Mayo, I will be hung the fuck over, but I plan on doing a returning to the ring.
Are you letting us know who, or we got to wait and see?
You gotta wait and see.
All right, I love it. Surprises. It's hard to keep good surprises in wrestling nowadays. So, I'm always down for a good surprise. JJ, you got an announcement for us?
Okay, I do. So, I just released the my Snyder Cut review last week. I'm working in the lab right now for the WandaVision review. It should be up either this week or next Sunday.
Awesome. So yeah, where can they find your review at, Josh?
So it's JJ Reviews. Typically, All you need to do is type in JJ Reviews Snyder Cut. It'll be the first thing that pops up because there's a lot of different JJ Reviews channels.
Gotcha.
If you can't really find it, you can follow me on my Twitter, Tajosha, TJOSHAA.
Awesome.
I don't know why you didn't just call your channel JJB Drip Drip.
No.
I'm just saying, you come up with all sorts of other shitty nicknames, so you might as well make your channel one too.
There you go.
You know what? I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
So we got a lot of things going on as far as the 3 Count podcast is going. So definitely tune in, guys. Make yourself aware of these things that are coming up. Also check out the website. We got a website, 3countpodcast.com. You definitely look like Hispanic Drew Carey. Like I can't take the glass.
Whose line is it?
You know what?
He's on a Mexican show. ¿Sabes qué? Whose line is this? ¿Sabes qué? Who say this?
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
That's stupid.
yeah. And he walked off. Well, good. It means you don't have to hear him talk crap about NXT. So the website, anything 3 Count Podcast related is on the website. It gets updated at least once a week. So 3countpodcast.com. You know how we do the number 3. Don't type in THREE. You might find something you don't want to see. So the number 3 countpodcast.com. You can catch all of our latest episodes, whether it be Now in the Ring, Returning to the Ring, or our debate show. It's all on there. Interviews, bios, anything 3 Count Podcast, it's on there. Definitely tune in to that. buy some merch. Cliff's got a 3 Count podcast OG crew shirt with yours truly, himself, JJ, and the Idol Master, who is at probably right now inside the wrestling ring. So go definitely get yourself a t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/3 Count Pod. And that's the number 3. So go get yourself some of that merch. Alrighty then. I think that is all the news and announcements. So we can get right down to business. Anthony, you came back at just the right time. Oh yeah, Anthony, he's also rocking the other 3 Count Podcast t-shirt. So like I said, go to Pro Wrestling Tees and get yourself a 3 Count Podcast t-shirt. All right.
I got you. Is this better?
It is. You don't look like Drew Carey now.
Oh, cool. I'm just a diabetes guy with glasses now for you.
Yes, absolutely.
I can't do that. I can't. Every time you just throw it out there.
Absolutely. So yeah, this is the last time, guys. It's not. We didn't have a show last week due to WrestleMania, and we didn't have a show
Scratch
before that because of Easter.
My CD and you scratch.
So, Anthony. So we got to do it. It is the final Wednesday Night War rundown. As this past week NXT moved to Tuesday nights, so the war is now over. So I have the numbers, okay, for the final week of the Wednesday Night War, and here we go. Alrighty, so 2 weeks ago, technically speaking, so 2 weeks ago, AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite went head-to-head with WWE NXT on USA Network. So if we go to TNT, AEW Dynamite had 688,000 viewers, which is down from the previous week of 700,000 viewers. The 18 to 49 demographic was a 0.28, which was 5th overall, which is up from their 0.26, which was 7th overall that previous week. Now, if we switch the channel to USA Network, which was Takeover, Stand and Deliver, so pretty much it was night 1 of their pay-per-view, NXT brought in 768,000 viewers, which is up from last week's 654,000 viewers. The 18 to 49 demographic was a 0.22, which was 11th overall, which is up from their 0.21, which was 12th the previous week. Those are the final numbers for the Wednesday Night War rundown. Before we get into what do we think was better overall, I just want to point out that I was highly shocked about the numbers. As far as NXT's concerned, I really thought that it being Takeover, that they would have more than I think it was an 80,000 viewer jump ahead of ahead of AEW. So I'm really shocked that night 1 of Takeover didn't give them bigger numbers than what they gave them. But we know how we do for the last time, guys. Which show did you enjoy the most? We'll start with you, Anthony.
NXT. Takeover was good. I liked both nights of Takeover.
Okay, so yeah, we can have like a little mini discussion afterwards about Takeover because I think Takeover was really good. Cliff, what did you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to echo, like, NXT was far and far beyond better than what AEW had. Although AEW had some great parts, overall NXT was just crushing it.
JJ.
The fuck is that? This is an N.
There. Did that work or no?
No.
It didn't work. Your N didn't work out. Everything else was fine. Oh, you were trying to make it uppercase. I see what you're trying to do. It looks like I can't say that. That's inappropriate.
You need to stop fucking gangbang shit, man.
So I gotta agree. NXT Takeover was a very, very good show. That's both nights, so I'm including Thursday night as well. NXT was hot, y'all. I think overall, if WrestleMania wasn't that week, I think that would have been the best show. I think that would have been the best show of the week if WrestleMania had not been that weekend. But NXT Takeover was really good. In the ladder match I enjoy a lot. I didn't expect Bronson Reed to win the gauntlet. But hey, I don't book it. But I think overall it was a good show. What do you guys think as far as NXT Takeover?
I gave that a solid B plus. Like I had me on my feet most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually like, you know me. I'm an eight. I love AW. I love the brand, but NXT just had me right there the whole time.
I'm gonna be 100, man. Night 1 of NXT was on point, but night 2 really just felt like they were just trying to throw some matches in there to get to like the main part of the show that they wanted to get to. But night 1 for me was like on fire. Night 2, on the other hand, I was just kind of like, I mean, it's cool. It's Takeover. It didn't feel like, it felt like the episode after a Takeover, with like the final 2 matches obviously being like the matches, right? So like that's how I felt about it. But I felt like night 1 of NXT was on point.
Yeah, I had mentioned it to you, Cliff, over the phone. I said like I could go to sleep after that match. Like I was like, I don't have to watch. We all know I would watch Dynamite, or I would watch the other show, whatever show I was watching live. I would watch the other show afterward because I had a DVR. I was like, this is a perfect show, night 1, and I was like, I can go to bed. I can go to bed peacefully. That was a really good show, and I went to bed happily. But yeah. Night 1 was really, 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 really solid. What about you, JJ?
NXT, they always stand and deliver. I don't think there's ever been a garbage takeover. Have there?
No.
If you as a whole, no. Have there been some stinker matches? Yeah, I mean everybody has a stinker match here and there, but as a whole, as a show as a whole, no. There's never been in the history of Takeover. There's never been a terrible Takeover show.
Yeah, I think Takeover was Takeover. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. There's a few like shockers. I was like, whoa. I know that my score probably got like destroyed.
Listen, your score is your Takeover score isn't as bad as my Takeover score.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about scores.
Let's not even talk about Wrestlemania.
Mania was giving me some trip up too. I'm just like, yeah, it was just it was good. I like that, like it wasn't predictable in the sense, you know. It gives you more, you know, it's more like interesting vibe when it's not as predictable. But I mean, I liked Takeover. I thought it was an excellent pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, I agree. And as far as the scores for WrestleMania week, as far as the show is concerned, I will say this. You would think that we don't watch the product and we don't do a debate show every week. So I will just say that. But when SummerSlam rolls around, that's when we hit the halfway point. That's when I will give everyone an update on the standings for their scores. But I will tell you, everyone, that we did not do good for both nights of Takeover and both nights of WrestleMania. So no one got over a 50%. Period. Nobody.
Shit. God damn.
Nobody.
All you guys suck.
Hey, there was a comment put in that said, "Sorry to have to go there, but is JJ's favorite show Dynamite?"
That's funny. Now that's funny. All righty. So that is the Wednesday Night War rundown. That's the last one. But don't worry. We're replacing something with it. All right. So match of the week. Okay. So instead of us going through show of the week, instead we're gonna say what was everyone's favorite match as far as wrestling is concerned the entire week. So it could be a Monday Night Raw match, which is highly doubtful. It could be Tuesday night NXT, it could be NWA Power, it could be Impact, AEW, MLW, CZW. I don't even think they were doing shows. It could be an indie match that you've seen. Any match of the week that you thought that was the best match you've seen all week. That's what's going to happen on the 3 Count Podcast from now on to take the spot of the Wednesday Night War rundown. So I'm going to take it over to my boy Cliff over here, and he's going to give you his first ever match of the week.
And are we talking about for WrestleMania, or are we talking post?
This is post WrestleMania. This is from, so technically included in this is night 2 of WrestleMania. So WrestleMania Sunday all the way up to yesterday. That is how we're keeping it.
Okay, bet. Well,
So Monday to Saturday.
It's like if I give my favorite match of the week, it's gonna also give away my power rankings for the match.
Do it.
Yeah, well, do it.
Do it.
Do
All
it.
right. So, although WrestleMania was like really, really good, I did like the triple threat match from night 2, which, you know, Roman and all that. But I will have to say that Josh Alexander and TJP, to me, like in the time that they had on Impact, tore it down. And I have to say, like, that match to me was match of the week. So I'm going to take that.
Okay. JJ, what do you think?
Match of the week. We're including night 2 of Mania, right?
Yes. So from Sunday to Saturday.
The best match was Friday Night SmackDown, Shayna versus Natty. It's like, I'm joking.
So this segment's already been corrupted.
I was about to say you could at least wait it for the this next week's match of the week to fuck with it.
I had to. Okay, all right. All jokes aside, probably I really like the Roman match at Mania. I'll go with that one.
Okay. Lou?
Mine's a toss-up. Because I liked, was it Dax Harwood versus Chris Jericho?
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that. And then I absolutely loved the Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin segment too. It kept me going too. Those are my 2 favorites of the week.
So I gotta echo with Lou. Wow, that's a first. I enjoyed the Dax Harwood and Jericho match from Dynamite. I really enjoyed that match. It was really good. It was really solid. I think both Jericho and Dax definitely showed out and put on a really good, solid match. So that's one of my favorite matches of the week. If I had to pick a follow-up, it would be a tag match from PWX this past weekend that happened yesterday. Riot City versus Pure Ignorance. Gotta put yourself over there.
This shit's already tainted.
Gotta put myself over. So, but all jokes aside, definitely Jericho and Dax. Definitely my favorite match this week, besides my own.
The fact that Lou hit his camera so hard that it unplugged.
Exactly. All right. All right, here we go. Let's get down to the debate topic. This is what you all came here to see. You came us here to see the debate, not us talking and agree with each other. So
evidently that's not what people came to see. People evidently came to see Chaz try to put himself over on his show.
It's my show, and that's what I'm supposed to do.
Question came up. Hey, did any of y'all watch the Stone Cold interview with Jericho?
Yes, I watched it. Yes, I thought it was really good. It was cool that they did not do too much AEW stuff, which is understandable, but they did talk about it, you know. So I enjoyed it. It was great to talk, hear, you know, Jericho's perspective, you know, really talk about, you know, his 30 years of being in the business. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have to agree. I saw it too. I liked it. It was really fun. I'm just glad, you know, they didn't even bury anything. That's the one thing about Jericho, like I'll just put out there, like he doesn't bury anybody. He actually puts a lot of people over, and then there's like shows like why he's like that much better. And I very much appreciated that. And he did it with AEW, he did it with WWE too. He was just like, yeah, like I'm here now and here's my reasons. And I like that a lot about Jericho. So I mean, I enjoyed the interview a lot.
Same. So, all right, let's get to the debate topic. All right, AEW this week, this past Wednesday, so the first night of Dynamite being unopposed on a Wednesday night, they hit 1 million viewers. Okay, we kind of talked about this previously. We kind of said that AEW has the, you know, they have the, I guess the attention of the wrestling universe to get 1 million viewers. So Is this the sign of things to come? Do we think that AEW can hit 1 million viewers each and every week? Cliff, we'll start with you.
Do I think consistently? No, I don't think consistently they can hit a mill. I think it's more realistic to think 900,000 for like this year, but going forward, I think year 2 and 3 of like being unopposed, yeah, I definitely see it happening then. Just right now, 1.2, like I'm glad for them, like congratulations. But I think going forward, the 900,000 mark would definitely be the mark I think they're hitting consistently.
Anthony.
No, absolutely not. I think that with NXT moving, you had more WWE marks like JJ free to be able to watch that. Plus, you had Mike Tyson and all that bullshit in the chat. They said it's Mike Tyson. He doesn't draw the crowd. Mike Tyson does draw a crowd no matter where he goes.
He didn't draw a crowd. I just said he wouldn't draw viewers.
Oh no, yeah, he does. So I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. You said Mike Tyson's gonna go. Shut up, JJ. I'm talking. Mike Tyson draws viewers wherever he goes. He could take a live stream shit and it probably hit 500,000 people still. I'm just saying that him being on the show and NXT not being on Wednesday brought more fans in. Cliff's right. Cliff could be right with the 900,000, but I doubt it. This week we'll see because there's no big marquee name coming. I think there's like because they're up and down. They have weeks of 800,000. They have weeks of 630,000. So they're not real complete steady above 750. So I don't see them getting consistent 1 mil in the next couple of years either. I think they're going to be about that 900,000 for a while.
So I'm gonna go back to your point about Tyson. I don't think Tyson is the reason they hit 1 million. I really don't think that. Like, we got to look at because you got to look at it like this: the people that are watching AEW, are I hate to use the term, but they're like me. They're my age, right? They're Josh's age. It's the more of the, I guess the fans that were watching in 06, right before when it hit PG that stopped watching. And then they were like, yeah, no, this is soft. I hate to use the term soft. Shout out to Enzo and Big Cass. I think it's that generation of fans who are watching it now. And that generation did not watch Mike Tyson back in the 90s. We did, or, Josh, have you ever seen a Mike Tyson fight besides the one that he just did? Like with
seen the one where he bit the dude's ear.
Exactly. That's all you know.
First of all, put some respect on that man's name. That's Evander Holyfield.
Like
that man's ear, bruh.
I remember the name off the top of my head.
And guess what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Cliff. I didn't even know that was Evander Holyfield. I just knew Mike Tyson bit somebody's ear off.
Put some respect on that man's name.
Actually, one of our blitzes back in football.
Like, but yeah. I just don't think that it's Tyson that's bringing them 1 million. I think it's legitimately it's them. It's the fans. It's the fans that who the pure wrestling fans that watch NXT and watch AEW. So they were having to choose between whether or they were going to pick. So for example, it's who had to pick whether or not, all right, this night I'm gonna watch this live or I'm gonna watch this one live. Now they don't have that choice. They don't have to, whether to decide whether I'm gonna watch Dynamite or I'm gonna watch NXT live this week or I'm gonna flip-flop. It's okay, it's Wednesday night, I'm watching Dynamite. Or it's Tuesday, I'm watching NXT. So I think 1 million.
Yeah.
I think 1 million people legitimately tuned in to watch AEW Dynamite. Regardless of whether Tyson, whether it's just they have done. Let's forget about pandemic, the pandemic era and whatnot of wrestling. Before the pandemic hit, we cannot sit here and act like that AEW were not breaking records as far as pay-per-view buys and as far as viewership. Like, let's not forget Double or Nothing that first time in Las Vegas did breaking numbers. Las Vegas is known to be not a good wrestling town, But what did Dynamite do? What did AEW? No, not Dynamite. What did AEW do? They sold the MGM out. So I have to disagree with it being Tyson. I have to disagree, and I have to say that I do think that AEW can consistently bring in 1 million viewers. Because let's be honest, as much as you can say bad about Dynamite, it ain't the shit show that's on Monday nights ain't that much better, and they're barely pulling in 1 million. So if 1 million people can go sit and watch Monday Night Raw, why not consistently 1 million people watch Dynamite? And those are people who aren't consistently bashing it.
You say that, man, but you better put some respect on Raw's name because
you need 1.7.
Shut up,
1.7.
JJ. The first 2 hours of Monday Night Raw drew over 2 million people. Like, just put it out there. Just know that was a thing. 2.1 mil, 2.1 for first hour, 2.0 for the second. Like, and granted, I do understand, right, that the average was 1.75, right? And for a 3-hour wrestling show, like that's a huge drop in those numbers. I get that part, right? And I know that Raw doesn't average 2 million in the first hour, right? I know they don't. And this was the Raw after WrestleMania. I do understand that.
Right. And that's the point I was going to make. I'm like, wait, we can't. Let's not use this Raw as a measuring stick because it's the Raw after WrestleMania. If you don't watch WrestleMania, you're watching Raw after WrestleMania. That's point blank.
But Raw still does average 1.8 mil. So let's not.
Okay, but still, I mean, how many times do we see throughout the year that Raw's numbers decline each and every week?
But that's the problem, though, is that we just measured AEW based on this first episode where NXT moved. Like, that's why I said, like, consistently, I don't think a mill is happening. I was like 900,000, more of a realistic number to go with because they're averaging. Let's be $150. They're averaging like 725,000 fans watching every week. Now that NXT is gone, they're getting that boost. That's why I think, like, to say consistently they're going to get another 500,000 viewers every night, I don't think that's realistic. The 18 to 34 demographic, though, I will put out there, that I think is a realistic number because they finished 22nd, or they finished second with like a 0.44. Like, I think that is consistent. That's going to be something that's going to stay there. But I just think to say, like, yeah, they should be averaging 1.2 mil. I don't think that's going to be fair.
JJ, did you watch AEW this week live?
I had schoolwork.
I still think that there's gonna be fans like JJ and Damien that still say fuck AEW, even though there's no there's no wrestling on, and that we're not gonna get AEW is not gonna get those viewerships. I think that's still gonna be a big part of the big part of it.
But I still think, though, if you're kind of that, they weren't going to watch Dynamite even if it was opposed. So I wouldn't even calculate those. You know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't even watching it even if it was opposed because they were watching NXT point blank. So unopposed, I still think they wouldn't even be watching. They're probably watching, I don't know, The Masked Singer or something, or the NBA on a Wednesday night. So I think those fans were just I wouldn't even calculate them into that because they weren't watching to begin with. So
that's why I said 500,000 viewers of a bump. I was like, I don't see that consistently holding. But people probably watched NXT, right? And they're like, well, I want to see what AEW's answer was to TakeOver from last week. And that's probably why they were watching AEW. And then they got introduced to, those Dior Jordans that Matt Jackson was wearing.
Okay. JJ, your point?
Oh shit, you guys kind of like did everything, said everything.
So bummish.
Well, can they consistently make 1 million?
He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking now.
Back to reality.
Maybe. I'd say maybe like the first couple of weeks, like the honeymoon phase, give or take. I think like give it like a month. I think a month. That's a good honeymoon phase. Maybe after a month, it'll go down. Maybe they'll, like Cliff said, 900,000. I think that'll be consistently. But I don't know. Not yet. Not yet. Fuck Planned Parenthood.
You gotta say that for Damien since he's not here.
Oh, there it is. There's JJ. He's back.
I had to do it for Damien because he's probably off.
Damien, I'll say to his face.
You know what's wild is think about this, right? When AEW started, right? TNT said they were going to be happy with 250,000 viewers a week. That was their goal. And then like the numbers came in and they were at like 750,000, right? And people were like, oh, snaps. TNT never said, hey, we want these numbers to keep crawling up and up and up. They just said, hey, we're happy at 250,000. And they were getting double what they were looking for. And now that NXT moved, they're like, oh, bet. Now we're at 1 million views. Like, cool. 900,000 is definitely the number to hit. And I just think, to me, TNT executives like have got to be happy that all these young viewers are watching their product on Wednesday night.
I mean, yeah.
One of those
You look at it, right? And you're right, Cliff. They the numbers for this week, AEW came out second overall on that night.
Who's won?
The challenge.
Show you were watching.
Yeah, the show you were watching. the challenge. So the top 5 cable shows that night, since we was the challenge, was number 1. Number 2 was AEW Dynamite. Number 3 was Snowfall, and 4 and 5 was the NBA. So that's just the top 5 shows for cable that night. But
does it say which games for the NBA? I'm just curious.
No, I don't have which games.
I was like, because I know if LeBron's playing, those numbers are going up.
Yeah, and LeBron's not playing, so
Thank God.
hey, this is not a basketball.
Hey, injured motherfucker.
Look at you. Why? Because he's a black man and you don't support Black Lives Matter and you're only pandering because you have that on because I have it on.
First of all, he actually named his kid after his favorite black Celtic player, so you can't hate on him for that.
All right,
on that.
I'm gonna put that in there.
Touche.
What'd you say, JJ?
Is it Kevin?
No, it's Tatum after Jason Tatum.
Hey, I like Tatum.
I knew that. Jason Tatum. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean,
Thank you, Cliff.
I still think, like I said, I really think they can do that. I think they can. But yeah, who am I? I don't know anything. I'm just.
Time will tell. Somehow Vinnie Mac will screw it up with Raw, and they're gonna retreat to AEW probably.
AEW 1.2 million. That's good shit.
Well, since we're talking about Vinnie Mac over here, that's a good segue to our next debate topic. WWE Black Thursday.
That's what we're calling it. Okay, cool.
You just call it Black 15th or something.
That's fucking pretty. So
It was called because and it was a year to the date. So a year to the date last year. It was Black Wednesday last year, as what the internet wrestling community was calling it. Was when the WWE had a bunch of layoffs of their wrestlers, and not just wrestlers, but talent, employees across the board due to the budget cuts of the pandemic. Well, it happened again this year as well. Like I said, it was a year to the date. So exactly 1 year later, WWE did their spring cleaning, their after WrestleMania releases. And Cliff, can you do you have the names? I think of everyone who was released.
Down the roster.
I did put them in the chat room, so I can definitely pull it back up. Hold on.
All right, so so we had another release party. One of the names was Samoa Joe. But Cliff, what are all the names that were released?
All right, so we'll start this from the bottom up. So we have Wesley Blake, Bo Dallas, Mojo Rawley, Kalisto, Tucker, Chelsea Green, Mickey James, Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, and Samoa Joe.
All right, so
iconic.
Iconic.
Moronic.
That's just you.
And the fact that you have that nice little cape on.
Right.
No.
Like it.
So those are the names that were released this year, not as a lot last year, thank God. But I guess the real story is it could be you could talk about the Iconics leaving, you could talk about Kalisto, but we're gonna talk about Samoa Joe. So Samoa Joe was released. We do know that Samoa Joe was doing commentary for the better part of a year at this point now. He hadn't been doing a lot of in-ring stuff. So the big question that we're gonna have is why wasn't Samoa Joe's run in WWE as successful as it should have been?
I'm just okay. I'm gonna put this out there. I went back and had a look at a bunch of stuff that Samoa Joe done in WWE. How do we not consider his run in WWE successful at all? Like we're just, or as successful. Like he held a lot of gold. Like he did a great job. And he was like in all like the marquee storylines, aside from his injuries, right? He was like holding it down. Then he got injured and obviously like stop pushes would happen. But if you ever notice, he was always in the top matches. He was always facing the big guys, the big dogs, the phenomenal one, Brock Lesnar. Like you have a list of names that he went through and people that he lost to, right? But how did you sit back and say, yeah, you know what? It wasn't that successful. I was like, no, it was very successful. His run was amazing. But I think the reason why we look back is because he didn't win the big title. And sure, that's a problem. But if you take away his U.S. title, you take away, didn't he win the Intercontinental at one time? Like, if you take away his titles, you still look at the fact that this man has faced Rollins, Roman, Brock, who else? Jesus, I'm drawing blanks now of names. Finn Balor, like in NXT, like the names that he faced, and you're like, nah, you know what? It's not that good. I was like, I think he had a really successful run, especially compared to the other people who were just released. I'm like, he has the most success. Plus, he also has a lot of time under his belt too. So I'm just like, I don't know how we say that.
He wasn't the main guy in like, or not even at the top two main guys of any show that he was on, and it's because WWE is bad writing and just bad and injuries. I just think that they could have wrote better storylines for him. He does what he does. He's a workhorse. He does, like you said, he wrestled many big names, but he still wasn't the guy. He wasn't the man.
But at that time, to be fair, like he's facing against Roman. Roman was the guy being pushed. He faced against Seth. Seth was the guy being pushed. He faced against AJ Styles. AJ Styles was the guy being pushed. We're talking about he faced off against all these grand slams.
He's the stepping stone.
Yeah, thank you. He's a stepping stone.
That's why it wasn't successful.
First of all, you guys are disrespectful calling that man a stepping stone. That is a jumping boulder. That is what he is. Like, he elevates the fuck out of talent. Do not put that disrespect out there.
That they stepped on.
It's no different than any other talent that isn't WWE bred. Like, and like I brought this topic up because it was everybody has been talking about it all week long on Twitter. It's about Joe this, Joe that, Joe this, Joe this. So that's why I'm bringing it up. But let's keep it $150. Any talent that WWE gets that is not homebred from them, that does not come out of their system, this is what happens. Yes, you have the anomalies like your AJ Styles and like that. Of course, there's a few, but it's just that's how WWE works. Like, I made sure I'm gonna bring all his accomplishments in TNA, right? Mm-hmm. So TNA, Joe, TNA television champion. He won that one time. He was the TNA World Heavyweight Champion one time. He was the X Division champion 5 times. He was the World Tag Team Champions twice. He was the King of the Mountain. He won the Maximum Impact tournament. He won the Impact X Division Championship tournament. He won the Super X Cup. He won the Feast of Fire contract for the Heavyweight Championship. He won the TNA Turkey Bowl. He won the Gauntlet for the Gold. He won the Wild Card Tournament. He's the third ever TNA Grand Slam champion, third ever TNA Triple Crown champion. And at the end of the year award, he won Mr. TNA twice for 2006, 2007. He was X Division Star of the Year in 06. He won the Feud of the Year in 06 and 07 for his feud against Kurt Angle. He won Finisher of the Year for his finisher, the Muscle Buster. And what did he do in WWE? He won the NXT title twice, and he won the US title twice. That's it.
But look at the dates that you just said. Go ahead. Kurt Angle, was that feud of the year? What year was that again?
06, 07.
You don't.
But that's not,
like 10 years later, he goes to NXT.
So okay, so what? That's like we act like Joe couldn't still work then.
No, and I'm not saying he couldn't work, but I'm just saying you're comparing like that Joe to the Joe in WWE. Where that Joe in WWE, let's be real, if Joe didn't get injured a lot, right? He's probably in that same. We are talking about Joe in the same caliber as we're talking with Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. But because he kept getting injured, and I know that's shitty to say, it really is. But if he's not getting injured, we know he's going to be the top guy because he works that way. He's that dude.
I still
unfortunately,
I don't think so.
I don't think he does.
I don't think even if he, yes.
No.
I agree. I agree with the fact that yes, for the most of his run, Joe was injured. At least 75% of the time that he was on the main roster, Joe was injured. I agree with you on that. Yes. Is that what you call it? Given to some of the reason why he wasn't as successful? Yes, no doubt. Yes, I agree with you on that. Yes, absolutely. But even I'm gonna put it out there, even then, even if he was, they still wouldn't have done it. Because guess what? To be completely honest, Joe should have took the title at Great Balls of Fire.
Yep.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You cannot sit there and tell me if you go back to that time, what was that? 2017. And at that time, Joe should have been the one to beat Brock for the title at Great Balls of Fire. That should have been the moment where they pulled the trigger on Joe. And if it was not then, it should have been with AJ during the whole Wendy feud.
I can't argue. Okay, I will definitely agree with you that during that time when he was the hot guy against AJ Styles, yes, I would have definitely have done that. But I'm just gonna go back to it that Vince already labeled. Once Vince labels you like injury prone, like that's it. Like it is very hard to come back from that. We've seen one superstar that I can name off the top of my head that was deemed injury prone who has main evented WrestleMania. And she just did it at WrestleMania. Talk about Banks.
No, Sasha.
Yeah. So, I mean, once you get labeled that injury prone, it's a death target for you. They're always going to see you as a middle guy. But the thing about Joe, though, was that he was a great talker. He was a great worker. It's just his run in WWE was always going to be limited due to the fact that he kept getting injured. And it wasn't, let me just put it, it's the same reason why we saw a Tommy, right? He was the same guy. Like, he was just getting hurt. Kenta was always hurt. And that's why we couldn't put titles on him. He was just snake bitten in WWE. But you watch his run now on New Japan, you're like, oh, this is the same Kenta from Noah. Oh, this is the guy that we wanted to watch in WWE, but he just couldn't get it done because he was always hurt. And now you look at Samoa Joe, we thought we had big expectations for Samoa Joe because of what he did at Impact. But the problem is he got injured. And I bet you that whatever promotion he signs to next, whether it's Impact or it's AEW, as my dog decides to interfere in this conversation, he will go back to being that Joe, and we're going to be like, where was this Joe at for the last 6 years? Injured. I don't knock Joe's work. It's just he was snake bitten in WWE, and it happens. But you can't take away the time that we got with him, though. You cannot say he wasn't successful or he wasn't as successful. He was hurt.
No. Even if he's not hurt, WWE still not going to make him the man.
I don't think that's true. We make this argument all the time. But if you look at guys like Daniel Bryan, you look at guys like CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, you look at
all WWE fed fuck people.
And even I'm not, you say CM Punk, but CM Punk, and even though he had that 400 and something day reign, he was never the guy.
Nope.
Was he holding titles?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, he held it 430. Yeah, but he was never the guy because during that time period, that's when Rocky decided
Rocky and Cena, we gotta make them.
and he took second fiddle to, of course, John Cena, because John Cena was still there, and still doing his time, but he went behind to Rock. Rock came back and that threw that out the window. So to your point, I get what you're saying, but they weren't, even then, all those people, they still weren't the guy.
What are you talking about?
No,
Roman, Dean, John Moxley. I don't care what you want to call him.
Dean, no, I don't.
Dean was always going to be the third wheel, but you know what? If I'm telling you right now, Dean was always the third wheel for the Shield. Yes, true. But he was also the first Grand Slam champion of those three. Granted, they did it by accident, but nonetheless, he was that guy. And then, not only that, but AJ Styles is another dude that made his name outside. It came in and made his name in WWE. There's another one.
I stated though.
We just keep putting
anomalies. There's anomalies in that system. There's anomalies in there that that you have those talents where they're undeniable, that they come in and they pop. But if that's the case, then why isn't Shinsuke Nakamura on that same level?
Okay, so as much
Nakamura has not he's not hot. He hasn't been snake bitten. He hasn't been injured.
I hate to admit this. It's disgusting. It's like vinegar in my mouth. I agree with Chaz with everything he's saying right now. It's disgusting that I'm even saying that. WWE writing is fucking garbage. We've all said it. We've all said it multiple times.
But yeah, right. Because guess what? And it's always said it, and a lot of people have said it. The writers write for one. They write for one person, and that's Vince. They have an audience of one. That's Vince McMahon. Whether we like it or whether we don't. And like multiple people have said it. JR has written it in his numerous books. It's in numerous of books, not even just JR's book. It's in everybody's book. These writers, they write to please Vince, and what Vince likes, that's what gets put on your TV. That's what you end up watching.
If not, he's gonna scrape it.
It's not about what the fans want. That is what they want to say. It's what Vince wants, and the writings, and it shows. Like Vince, if it's not his product, if he didn't mold it and didn't create it and put his thing on it, it's not getting over. It's not. He's not going to give it that oomph to have it, to blossom like you said, like a Daniel Bryan or a Seth Rollins or a Roman Reigns like that. It's just not. It won't. Like, and there you have the anomalies. You have those rare occasions like in AJ Styles that come out of nowhere and then they're like, boom, I'm here. So even if Joe was healthy 100% of the time, we would still be talking the same conversation.
Yeah, and the reason being, I think, is Samoa Joe, for a big guy, can move. He can do a lot of things, but not very many people do what AJ Styles does.
Well, AJ Styles, and to give credit, AJ Styles is very adaptable, and that's the one thing. Like, if you listen to a lot of his interviews, that's the one thing he'll talk about when people ask him, like, what makes you different, is that he's mastered a whole bunch of different styles, so he can just adjust on the fly to everybody who he's working with. And Joe's that same dude. The only difference is, like, AJ is just, I would say AJ is more cleaner with his stuff versus what Joe is. But obviously, like, I know it's a what if, but I wonder if AJ's career had flipped, right? Let's just put it on the other side. If AJ was having the same career that Joe was having, and Joe was having the career that AJ was having, we would be like, yo, what's up with AJ? Like, we know AJ performs better than this. But, you know, it is what it is at this point. But to say WWE won't, or to say Vince, I don't want to say WWE because that's not the way. But to say Vince doesn't push talent that isn't WWE homebred, like, I do understand that. And yes, it does happen because we've seen it with numerous dudes. But in the same token, like, you can't tell me, like, let's be real. And I'm going to put this out there. We know Stone Cold Steve Austin. We understand who that is, right? But we also know that he was a WCW guy before he became a WWF guy. And then once he became Stone Cold Steve Austin and not Chili McFreeze, once he became Stone Cold Steve Austin, he took off. But stunning Steve at WCW wasn't the dude. But to say
but
in the remaster,
but
the remaster before it was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No. The Stone Cold Steve Austin took off because they needed that to take off at that point. They didn't need Joe to take off at that point. They didn't need that personality to take off. WCW and WWE were going at it so hard that Vince said, make it happen. And so John 316, no, Stone Cold 316 told you so happened. It was because
my point being, though, is that he wasn't a WWE guy.
But
he was a WCW fail.
Listen. There's multiple things that you can put in the basket, whip it up, and make some fucking fried eggs with, like timing, athleticism. I'm just saying that there's multiple. You said it just a little bit ago, dude. You said, watch Joe go wherever he goes to next and become that guy. It's because he couldn't be the guy in WWE because WWE writing is fucking garbage. Hands down.
And they wouldn't let him.
Dude.
He was handcuffed.
He was handcuffed. I'll take that. I'll give that. You can't just, WWE's writing is garbage. No.
I mean, yes,
we know that they write to Vince. I don't know why we keep sitting back here and going, you know what? I hope this show caters to me more often, when you know it won't. Like, so just like for me, like I have to enjoy the product because the product, that's what I'm being fed. I'm being fed Vince's product. So if you're like, well, I don't like it because they're not pushing that guy, that's Vince's call. But at the end of the day, like Samoa Joe's success was not limited because of Vince. It was limited because of his injuries.
I don't think so. And I disagree with that. I don't think that's
I disagree because Great Balls of Fire is a perfect example. He was healthy and he should have won. That was when he was probably the hottest in his WWE run, especially on the main roster, and he lost.
Even though you might be a great jumping boulder, guess what? You were still labeled injury prone. And that's what happened. Unfortunately, that's what happened. Because his NXT run, let's be real, his NXT run, fire. Then he gets to the main roster. Mind you,
Balls of Fire?
What happened the first night that he showed up on Raw? He injured Seth Rollins. That was Vince's baby. Injured that.
Okay.
He ruined it. He hurt his knee. Remember, because he had just came back from the knee injury. So you've already got one strike now because you've just injured one of the top stars, and then you get injured yourself. What was gonna happen? You got hit with a bunch of bad bugs. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Oh, by the way, let's talk about that Muscle Buster. Whose career did he end?
Whose?
The same dude who produced the Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair match.
Who?
Tyson Kidd.
He ended that man's career by accident. I don't want to say he did it purposely. He did it by accident.
Man,
that dude needs it happened.
Trophy. That dude needs a trophy.
That dude needs a trophy. Oh my God, man.
I fucking hate Tyson.
I can't go back and be like, hey, yo, like,
he's fucking Italian.
You got hit twice. You had 2 X's on you, and then you got injured again. Mind you, the last injury that he got, the one that put him in the commentary booth, that was not his fault. WWE wanting him to go through a table for a toy commercial was the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
No, but that's how that happened.
That's how it happened. It was for a toy commercial to promote the new table breaking. And they put him through the table and he got concussed. And then Vince was like, oh, that sucks, buddy. Take a couple weeks off and then we'll put you back on the commentary team. That's what happened.
It's Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon sucks.
Hey, and then since you're on the commentary, we need you to go through this monsoon, put on this nice rain gear out in the rain, and then we're gonna fire you a couple of days later. That's what's good for business. Good shit. Fuck Vince.
Vince McMahon sucks. I mean, look at the ending of that fucking Drew and Bobby match at WrestleMania.
What?
I liked that ending.
You should have said like the Fiend. I would have
The
agreed.
wrong winner.
So, all right, well, I mean,
Chaz, what's
Sorry,
wrong?
I definitely monopolized that. That was my fault on the debate topic.
Chaz, are you sick?
I'm just gonna defend WWE in this instance, which, let's be real, this is the first time that I've ever decided I was gonna die on this hill for them.
yeah,
Let's be real, man. Like, everybody I've seen on the internet talk about they wasted Samoa Joe. How? He was hurt. That's like saying, hey, you know what's great, and you guys are gonna be too young for this reference. Hey, let's make Ryan Leaf the star quarterback of the Chargers and see how great he does. Then he does nothing, and then that's it. He does nothing, and then guess what they do? They sent this man to the Cowboys, and guess what he did there? Nothing. Suck balls. Oh, but they wasted him at the Chargers. Please.
Josh got that.
Or here.
Dude, you broke Josh.
Ryan
I'm just like,
fucking
yo, like, what I'm saying, it was this man's fault. You know, here's a perfect example, right? Here's another perfect example, and this one's gonna hit close to Chaz. So Derrick Rose is supposed to be that dude, blows his leg out, and then has to come back and changes the ways he plays basketball. But he wasn't ever gonna be that dude for the Bulls because he got injured. He had to change his game up, but he became the dude somewhere else. And that's what's going to happen with Joe. Joe is not the dude in WWE because he got hurt. And now he's going to be the dude somewhere else. It just happens, man. It sucks, but it happens.
Ryan Lee.
I can't blame WWE except for that stupid table bump for a toy commercial. That's the only one I could blame.
All right, final thoughts on this one. So if Joe's leaving, so clearly he's gone, where do you see him ending up at? Just for shits and giggles, where do you see him ending up, or where do you think is the best place for him? Final thoughts on this. So we'll start with you, JJ. Then we'll go Anthony. Cliff, you take the end because you've just been talking too much.
Because he takes it up the end.
JJ, Samoa Joe, where he's going? Where is he going? If he decides to ever wrestle again, you never know. Joe could just, say, Joe could call it a career, and then that's it. But if Joe decides to, wants to still wrestle, where's he going? Or where do you think he should go?
Fuck.
Great
You guys already know. I'm just gonna take my leave.
He's going to Planned Parenthood. That's what he's saying.
Anthony.
Fuck.
Sorry. Anthony, who do you, if Joe, where do you think Joe should go?
Subway?
Eat fresh.
Eat steak.
Where will he end up? Probably KFC.
Damn.
No, I think I don't think he goes to AEW. I don't. I think he goes back to Impact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw I did share this. I think it was yesterday. I think, or either Friday. They all can't go to AEW, guys. Hard pill to swallow, but they can't all go. I don't think Joe is going to go to AEW. I can see the Iconics going to AEW before I see Joe going to AEW. More of the line because Peyton Royce's husband is Sean Spears, and he's already there. He has a good standing with Cody. I do believe the Iconics will probably reunite and go there before we see Joe go to AEW. I do think Joe, I don't I wouldn't surprise me if we see Joe in Impact. I would like to see Joe go to MLW. But I definitely do see Joe ending up back in Impact. Things are a little bit different there than it was back when he was there. So it's a whole different feel. TNA is an Impact. Like I gotta make sure we separate those two, because TNA Impact and Impact Wrestling totally different. So
you don't want Dixie Carter running bullshit.
What
that,
about
yes,
wrestling?
that, and then it's just Impact now. It's just a whole different vibe. You know, like I watched an old TNA Impact episode like a while ago, and I was like, geez, this isn't anything like Impact now. It's just the vibe is different. It's just the vibe is different. And I think Joe can really do some stuff with the people there in Impact. Like I would love to see Joe versus Sami Callihan. I think that's one of the big things. Why I would like to see him go to Impact. Is because I think Sami Callihan and Joe would definitely kill it together, and I think them as a tag team would definitely be even dope. Like just the fire that these guys would spit as a team, astronomical. So I'm gonna go with Impact. I think Impact.
Give JP a fucking brain buster and let him sail off into the sunset.
I'm gonna keep my comments to myself on that one, Anthony. I'll tell you about that off air. Go ahead, Red Dog.
Better watch your mouth.
DJ, if you're watching, brother, I'm just kidding. We like you. Cliff loves you.
No, Cliff does love you.
Yeah,
Like, really
I'm not even gonna front this. Anyway,
like if he could, he'd definitely put a ring on it if he could.
Yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna front that. I ain't gonna bat that. Hey, so for me, I like the fact that we're both talking like about where we think that they're gonna go, right? So I definitely agree. I think Joe goes back to Impact. I like that fit. It's just if you look at it, AEW is just filled with top stars, right? And they're not even using all their guys on their roster. So why not just have him go back to Impact where he could just tear it up? It's funny you mentioned the Iconics because I don't see the Iconics going to AEW. I see them going to Impact. The Impact's women's knockout division is
fire.
It's fire. It's way better than any division minus NXT. I think the women's division at Impact just.
But that's the reason they go to AEW because AEW needs help. Well, they need writing to fucking help their women's division. But we're not getting into that shit. I don't have another hour of my day.
Right. Today's the show that me and Anthony are just on point with each other because I'm with him on that one. We ain't got another hour. Because y'all know how I feel about the women's division in AEW. But anyway.
Just give it some money.
So you saying Impact? Cliff?
Yeah, I say Impact.
Impact. Okay. All right. So wow, that was it's funny. I expected that to be a very heated debate, but I expect everyone to be like opposite, and I thought I would be in Cliff's positions and everyone would be attacking me. So nice to know that I wasn't in the the minority for.
And I can hold it down on my own. I ain't gotta worry about nobody trying to come over here and crucify me. I'm gonna stay here and debate.
I mean, hey, you have your opinion and you're entitled to your wrong opinion. So.
Oh, so cute. I feel like I've heard that before.
I mean, hey, y'all say it to me all the time. So.
Yeah, people's opinions sometimes are wrong. Like when JJ says Lawrence Phillips' Wrestlemania was better than.
Did you just say Lawrence Phillips?
Lawrence Taylor, dumbass.
Anthony, we were doing so good.
It's the fucking diabetes in me. Leave me alone.
Only gonna let you do that for this week. After that, we're just gonna blame you.
So I'm gonna listen. All right, folks, I need everyone before we get to our next debate topic. I need everyone to go buy a shirt so we can get another design out there. So Anthony can get his own design saying, "I'm blaming it on the diabetes."
I got diabetes brain.
Like I just need. And then can we get a bottle like insulin on it and like blame the diabetes on it?
Dude, wait. Even better.
I take a pill instead.
Oh, you take a pill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, can we have someone
I
out
wish
there?
I could chop that up and snort it, but
One of our fans that does artwork. I got this. So one of our fans that do artwork, right? Can you draw like a luchador mask, right? And then put the diabetes pill like in the middle of the mask, okay? And then Anthony, you will no longer be Lou the franchise. We're gonna call you El Diabeto.
That's actually kind of funny.
You're fucking bastard.
You're the one out here like I'm the diabetes.
Your mom
guy.
doesn't even love you.
No, that's cool. I told her. I was like, you gotta stop.
Sorry, yeah,
Wow.
I was just telling her we're just friends. We can't. I was like, we're just close. Okay, that's all. Give birth to me. That's it. I'm looking at Chad's mom. I'm like, yo, what up?
Dude,
Adopt
you
me.
cannot do that. Dude, your mom though, dog.
Yeah, stop.
Chaz, your
This
mom.
Wait, what? What about my mother?
Yeah, JJ. Oh yeah, dude. We got
What
both.
about my mother, Anthony?
She raised a half a good man.
She raised two great.
And the reason I say
no,
that is because you weigh $140.
I hate you. Anyway,
I was gonna say she raised two great gentlemen, and I'm just like, ayo, like life lessons.
shout out to my mom. It's her birthday today. So
It is. Happy birthday. That's why I brought it up.
Birthday, mom.
She's not watching. Happy birthday to my mother. But yeah,
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna clip that section out and just send it to her.
you know what? That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
We can do it.
She'll like that. She'll like that. Alrighty, so here we go. Let's move on to our next and our final debate topic. WrestleMania, right? We can't go out, we can't have a debate show, not talk about WrestleMania. All right. Cannot talk about WrestleMania. WrestleMania happened. It was the first live show for the WWE with fans at Raymond James Stadium. It was Saturday night, Sunday night. So the debate topic, we can talk about anything about WrestleMania as a whole, but I really want to talk about where does this year's WrestleMania stack up with previous WrestleManias? A lot of people are saying it's in the top 5. Some people are saying that night 1 is, if you just take night 1, it's the best of all time. So I want to get our thoughts on this. So WrestleMania this year, Raymond James Stadium, night 1 and 2. Where does it stack up as a whole to other WrestleManias? Let's start with you, brother, JJ. Like brother, all right, who am I talking about? Y'all my brothers. So JJ, my blood brother, the man who actually has my DNA.
Into your DNA?
Did you just say mRNA? What?
I said, did you give him your DNA?
Oh my God, man. Like, stop it. You stop it right now with that.
Anyway, JJ, what do you think?
Night 1 was pretty good. Was really good, except for that horrendous women's tag match that was like god awful. Probably one of the worst matches I've ever freaking seen in my everlasting life. I would skip that match every single time I ever rewatched that show.
Now, Evilise and Thunder Rosa was worse than that.
You said what?
Evilise and Thunder Rosa was worse than
Well,
that.
they were just beating each other up because they didn't like each other.
And then she started no selling. Anyway, we'll talk. Yeah, that's probably next week's topic. That was Evilise.
Yeah, that's different. This was just a catastrophe. You got Mandy Rose, basically the highlight of her career now is pretty much being a Titus O'Neil. You have Natty looking dumb when she looks and acknowledges the tag, and then tries to do a sharpshooter in the middle of the ring. Stupid nonsense. This match was awful. Whoever producer should be fired. All the people involved in it should be fired. It was terrible. Awful match.
But
Anyway.
that match was night 2.
I was gonna let him go with it. I was gonna let him
were bad, okay? Both of them were bad, so they get clumped together. They're all the whole tag team nonsense with the women were awful. All of it was bad. Thank God for Sasha and Bianca. Golly.
That tag team turmoil on the first night, I thought was good. Yeah.
You guys are freaking hot.
Evidently, you don't know wrestling. Put your glasses on, get your college book, go back to your bunk, and read it.
Both of the women's tag matches were god awful. But night 1 was actually really good. Besides that crap with the women's match, Oh yeah, I forgot with Lana botching and completely missing the kick, and then Billy Kay trying to be a professional wrestler, basically tried to sell it. It's like we clearly saw you miss. But anyway, that's beyond the point. Night 1 was better than night 2, in my opinion. Even though night 1 probably had like the worst match ever. That match is awful.
Night 1 again?
I recommend that you don't watch that. That's basically like watching a whole episode of Planned Parenthood. Okay.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
We getting canceled. Yeah.
Anyway. So
I don't think we can get canceled at this point. I'm actually think I low key believe
we're South Park, okay? We can't get canceled.
Dead, like low key, like the
we're
stuff
South Park.
You said we fucking should be.
We should be canceled, but they won't.
South Park, okay? We can't get canceled.
I gotta watch that.
South Park Mexican.
Their little special on Corona. I gotta watch that. Funny. I know it's funny, and I haven't watched it yet because I haven't had time.
Anyway, beyond the point. Beyond the point. Night two was inconsistent. I didn't like the Fiend losing. That was stupid. That's nonsense. The Fiend is dead. The Fiend is buried. The Fiend is basically just Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss just basically stole his gimmick because she's a blonde. Oh wait, never mind. Oh, don't say that. Yeah.
Right now.
Then when the Nigerian street fight was night 2, right?
Can you just give us a fucking ranking so we can move the fuck on?
I was about to say, Josh, you're giving me this. We're not reviewing.
We don't need a play-by-play fucking what happened.
We're not reviewing.
I'm sorry, I'm in JJ reviews mode. Okay, I'm sorry.
I want you to tell me where does it rank in regards to the past WrestleManias? Where do you rank this WrestleMania? I don't want to review a WrestleMania. I specifically did not do a review for this very reason. What you're doing right now was the reason why we did not do a review show on WrestleMania.
Oh. He's gonna say, I'm gonna give it an 85%.
That's so Josh. That is so him.
I'm giving it an 83%.
Anyway, all jokes aside, Josh. So compared to WrestleMania's passes, where do you rank this one?
I would say like it's not top 5, it's not top 10.
You're dumb if it's not top 10, Josh. Shut up.
It's top 15.
How can I go from fucking hating you for fucking dragging on to actually applauding you?
It's like top 15. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's one of the better manias. It is one of the better manias, but like,
why is it not top 10? I'm sorry.
Is it not top 10?
Let everyone know. Wait, before I even ask it, before I even get that, let everyone get that point across. Because now you just made me like I'm annoyed with you. You did all that and then tried to say it's not top. Go ahead. Somebody, one of you people go. I don't care.
One of you Latinos go.
Dead ass.
One of you illegals.
One of you illegals go. Shit.
I'm tired of this black guy. Go. One of you brown people go.
When this brown people shit has got to stop.
You drew this line. Luke's just playing by your rules. Bro.
I know he is, but damn.
He was like, anyway.
The other day, no, I before we go, the other day, I think it was Thursday, and I was when it was Friday, and I'll tell you, we're gonna do this on the air, and everyone can hear
good weed.
Like Anthony, right? So he was telling me, how, like as far as I know, everyone has known about what's going on as far as the cops and everything with it happening in Minneapolis. I don't want to get too, in depth with it. So we were having a conversation, right? And I'm like, damn, Anthony, this fucking brown shit. There's no brown. There's no fucking brown. This is on the way, how we always talk on the way to work. And I'm like, Anthony, this fucking brown people shit. There's no brown. We're all one. Fuck him, man. He just dividing us even further. I'm gonna tell him to stop doing that shit. I got so upset just talking about it, and I was like, fuck, man. So no, there is no brown line. No, we're all one.
What's the old saying from Lion King 2? We are one.
This motherfucker.
All right.
You're Lion King in the shit out of it. Go ahead. So,
Luke.
where you Latinos go?
All right. So they
Start speaking
say
Spanish to me. Say it in Spanish for us. Why don't you?
suck my
Me
dick.
lame-o Josh.
Wait, we know. Wait, never mind, Anthony. You can't speak Spanish. I forgot.
All right, Cliff, go in Spanish. Go.
Me lame-o Josh.
All right.
Sabes que.
Oh yeah. So, ¿sabes qué? WrestleMania. And es cinco. Todos. Buenos. Me gusta noche de una noche, pero noche dos no es tan bueno. So that's where I stand. So if you guys try to figure it out.
Well,
what
Mr.
it said
Golden,
was-
Mr. Golden. I know Mr. Golden's watching. He's, you know,
What he said.
he's one of my. He was one of my. Actually, I didn't have him. Actually, I didn't take Spanish in high school, but he's one of the Spanish teachers in high school when I had in high school.
I'll give you some Spanish.
Translate that in the comment section for us, please.
I do it now. I'm just let you know. For me, WrestleMania was number 5. It was number 5. Like
Of all time.
night one was better than night 2. I liked, but the problem was, that's just where I sat with it. So it's just flat out. And I just want to know, JJ, while we're all talking about this, name me 14 other WrestleManias that were better than that WrestleMania from this last weekend.
1, 2, 3.
And you didn't, and guess what? Yeah, because I know you have even
12,
seen
13,
14 WrestleManias in total. I know it for a fact. Because you've probably all the WrestleManias you watched them with me.
Oh my.
And I know you at least watched 4 of them with me. And I know one of them being WrestleMania 24 because we had the DVD, damn it.
Y todas personas aquí hablan español, permiso, porque mi español es no es bueno. So it's like that.
I took French, Cliff. Shit.
Yeah, because the whole country over here was being ran over by French people. That's what we did. We chose the right decision, right? Oh, parlez-vous français? Ha, ha, ha. Get out of here with that.
Oh, I love the 3 count.
I gotta follow that. Okay, I gotcha.
He was over here like, oh, you know what I want? Hablen du fromage. Delicious.
I'm stepping away.
Go ahead.
When Cliff's done his point, it's your turn. I need to take a walk.
I gotta go after that. Okay, I gotcha. I want 2 tacos with cheese and a Pepsi for my diabetes.
And a Pepsi. No one's watching our show anymore. We're so done.
I'll have a Coke.
Where's your WrestleMania rank, man? That's what we're doing.
So they say that there's two WrestleManias that compete for each other, WrestleMania 28 and WrestleMania 11 for the worst. This WrestleMania beats them both. This is the worst WrestleMania I've ever fucking seen. This fucking god awful shit. That I'm just kidding right now.
I'm about to say, I walk back.
I like it. I like WrestleMania. I don't like some of the shit, but it was entertaining. Like we had this conversation over the phone. WrestleMania 2 nights does not do it for me because I am the WrestleMania of 5 hours. It's WrestleMania, with all the bells and whistles, the hooplas, girls showing titties, all that shit. So no, it was top 5 that I've watched, and I've seen almost all of them.
Oh wow!
You said this was the worst WrestleMania.
Jeez, I definitely go with 27 being the worst. I stand by that. I don't care what anyone says. I hate 27.
They say 20. They say WrestleMania 28 and WrestleMania 11 are the 2 top worst WrestleManias of all time.
28 though, that's Rock and Cena, right? Rock and Cena 1, right? It's 28, right? Yes, because that was because 29 was Rock and Cena 2, and then that's when WrestleMania 30. What? Anyway, okay.
That's even on the Bleacher Report. Sorry, my hands are weak from my diabetes.
Fuck Bleacher Report.
Loki, I'm naming this episode the one where Anthony calls himself El Diabito.
You fucking called me that, not me. I'd rather be L diabetes.
La diabetes has attacked.
Okay, so
That's my finisher.
that's your fin. I
Hit him with the diabetes.
I hate him. I hate him.
He submitted to the diabetes attack. Yo, I can't stop.
This is the thing.
Shit.
Let- Let me take back control of my show. Where do I have this WrestleMania stack up? Clifton out here destroying his bedroom.
19 was better.
Night, you didn't. Did you even watch 19, Josh? Okay, I believe that.
He submitted to that.
These guys, ladies and gentlemen, I have
We popping ourselves.
apologize for my
17 was better.
my compadres here on
Oh, it's a brown thing again.
Bro,
No.
17 was better.
Black man talking in a brown language.
shut up. Shut up, Cliff.
I just imagine Lou putting on a submission move. Tap out to la diabetes. Oh, he's tapping out to diabetes.
Hit him with the pound of sugar.
Get out. Get
That's
out.
your way to. That's your way to. Yo, yeah, no, dude. You just you give him a slam on the sugar. Like we'll do what they said. You call it the sugar slam,
Hey yo.
or you hit him with the knee. You hit him with your knee, right? We'll call it the insulin shot.
So my point anyway being that I think that this WrestleMania definitely it goes in the top 10. I definitely do believe you can put this in the top 10 WrestleManias of all time. It was really good. Night 1 was amazing. Night 2 had the first 2 matches were a little off. I think the other 2. So I'm talking to you, JJ. So the Night 2 had some pitfalls, and
Duds.
I think after you got past the women tag team match, the show went up from there. So I think it definitely goes in the top 10. Top 5 is saying a lot. But definitely top 10. If you're saying I don't know why you're saying top 15. I don't even, like I said, I don't know how you can even say that.
When I'm saying top 15, I'm saying between 10 or 11 and 15. You can put it right in there.
I don't think so, John. I think
Okay.
it goes. If you're not putting it at 10, you got to put it between 10 and 5.
It can be argued. It can be argued for a 10 spot, but it's not.
I strongly disagree.
I mean, that's
Night 2
your
ruined
opinion.
That's exactly, that is my opinion.
In my opinion, is fact. So
Your opinion,
Garbage.
Your opinion is
It
not
is trash.
like half of your opinions are just based off of bullshit.
no.
Like we're not gonna forget you ripped your shirt on a whole episode. Like
You ripped your shirt, and then you went back and admitted that he was the best heel of the year.
exactly. So
Ooh.
Y'all act like I hate Pat McAfee. I actually
You said you hate Pat McAfee.
yeah, you said it on the air.
You
I
said
did
it on
not.
the air, and you said it in the chat. Like I could pull receipts.
Like we have yes, you
No,
did.
I did not say I hate Pat McAfee. I said I hate the idea of bringing in these celebs. These
No. You said
That's
it's Pat
what I
McAfee. That's what you said.
No, what I
Joshua.
said was
Josh.
no. Idol was comparing Pat McAfee to Lawrence Taylor. That is why I got upset.
It's a good fucking comparison.
No, it is
No,
not.
wait. No, it's not.
No,
Whoa,
it is
whoa,
not.
whoa,
Are you
whoa.
high? No,
Whoa.
it's not.
Pat McAfee's above that.
Oh my god. It just started.
Are you fucking high right now if you don't think that?
You are high. You are high.
You're talking about like a top 5 player of all time against a punter. A punter.
So what you're saying is top 5 player of all time, cool. So what you're saying is that Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone's match Match at the Beach?
Oh yeah, maybe
Should be
I don't know.
above that because Karl Malone's a top 5 NBA player of all time.
I'm not talking about basketball. Basketball.
Oh. What the fuck?
We're talking about football.
All right.
We're done with this, JJ.
No. Guess what? On that note, we do my favorite sound effect on the 3 Count podcast. So, all right. With that being said, let's move on from that. Lawrence Phillips.
Lawrence Phillips. My God, man.
Diabetes, I'm telling you.
I'm just curious though. Like, I just have to ask a question. Like, Chaz, do you know who Lawrence Phillips is?
So I heard some rumbling that Lawrence Phillips he played for the Cleveland Browns, right? And I heard he was a free safety. Now, whether or not he was good at his job, remains to be seen. I mean, he played for the Cleveland Browns, and no one who plays for the Cleveland Browns ever does anything.
Played for one of the best dynasty college football programs ever.
The Cleveland Browns is the best.
No. So Lawrence Phillips played for the Huskers.
Lawrence Phillips is a real person?
Yes.
Oh shit! I just thought Anthony fucked up and just said Phillips.
No.
And was trying to say
Lawrence
That's
Phillips
why
was one of he was part of the 1994, 95, and 97 national championship for the Nebraska Huskers. He was a beast. You know where he's at now? Dead.
Oh, that went way left.
He killed himself in prison.
He did. Yeah, that's fact. Like that's why that name,
like that guy, asshole.
We don't talk about that name. We kind of like, how like certain players you just kind of remove them from your squad. That's what we did. We were just kind of like he was a running back.
I got you. I got it right here. He's AKA to me what Crispin wants to you guys.
Oh
yeah, we just kind of were like,
oh. So it's now time for the greatest segment in all of 3 Count podcast. It's now time for the Dogs Power Ranking.
All right, we don't got time for the song. Let's just jump into this because this show has already gone left, right, and center, and now we finally brought it back. So we're gonna get into this right now. So with it being WrestleMania week, we did miss the show, so we're definitely going to talk about that, right? So as we did last year, there was 20 matches that we talked about. We're going to get into the same kind of topic now. But we do have some honorable mentions. I do want to mention these shows because if you guys haven't checked them out, you need to go check them out, right? So we're going to start off with our first one. Laredo Kid versus Brandon Lee, GCW with the Acid Day 1. Great match, fun match to watch. Honorable mention number 2, Tay Conti versus The Bunny on AEW. Got to give props to her. We get to match number 3, Fly and Flavor versus Thick and Juicy 2.0 for the culture. Is what we talk about 2021. Let's get into it. So we're going to talk about another honorable mention match. We're going to talk about another honorable mention match that should be in here. Josh Barnett versus John Moxley for Bloodsport 6. Great match. We're going to talk about another honorable mention before we got a bunch of them. Slice Boogie versus Slice Boogie and Matthew Mims versus War Kings on NWA Power. So if you guys get a chance, go check out Power. And what you're gonna notice, is a bunch of these shows gonna be a bunch of different promotions. Strictly Business versus The End on NWA Power. That's also on here. On another honorable mention, we have the Top Dogs versus Mysterios versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy on SmackDown. This was for the tag titles. Shout outs to, Dolph and Rude getting a win on that one. Our last honorable mention match before we get into this, and this is crazy that we're going to rank this one this low, but there's reasons for it. So, Jungle Express versus Bear Country. This would have been the King Kong versus Godzilla match. So, Jurassic Express. That's what we're talking about. Jurassic Express versus Bear Country. AEW Dynamite. So, number 20, we're going to get right in. Hangman Page and Max Kester open up with AEW Dynamite. This is a great match. Also tied for number 20. I didn't realize I put this in there. Zoe Starks versus Toni Storm. This would have been on NXT Takeover Night 1 pre-show. Number 19. This is crazy that this is really this low. Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus John Moxley and the Young Bucks for AEW Dynamite. The way that match ended was the right way to end the match. Number 18. Rich Swann and Andy Edwards and Willie Mack versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers on Impact. I like that match a lot too. Number 17, we had Bronson Reed versus Swerve Scott versus Cameron Graves versus LA Knight versus Dexter Lumis versus Leon Ruff. NXT TakeOver Night 1. We're going to get into Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz Morrison at WrestleMania Night 1. That is our number 16 match. So we're going into the top 15 now. Omos and AJ Styles versus The New Day. This would have been WrestleMania Night 1. I ranked this that low, but there's a good reason for it. Number 14, Sheamus and Riddle at WrestleMania Night 2. Number 13, Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed at NXT TakeOver Night 2. Number 12, Rhea Ripley versus Asuka, WrestleMania Night 2. We're going to go to number 11, Rachel Gonzalez versus Io Shirai, NXT TakeOver Night 1. We got number 10, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, WrestleMania Night 2. I thought this match was phenomenal. Just going to put it out there. And it didn't have AJ Styles in it. Number 9, this is probably the match that everybody's been talking about, and this was number 9 on my power rankings. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins for WrestleMania Night 1. So, number 8, MSK versus Grizzled Young Veterans versus Legado de Fantasma, NXT TakeOver Night 1. Number 7, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, WrestleMania Night 1. Number 6, Pete Dunne versus Kushida at NXT TakeOver Night 1. I love this match, by the way. And now we're getting into our top 5. These are the top 5 for WrestleMania. We have Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor, NXT TakeOver Night 2. Number 4, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks, WrestleMania Night 1. Number 3, Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole, NXT TakeOver Night 2. Santos Escobar versus Jordan Devlin, NXT TakeOver Night 2. That match, I was drawn into it. And then my number 1 favorite match of WrestleMania week, and I'm sure I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for this, but I don't really care. Walter versus Ciampa, NXT TakeOver Night 1.
You don't get flack from me. Absolutely not. That's okay. That is okay to have as a number 1 match. You don't get flack from me from that one. The top 5, I feel like your top 5 is interchangeable depending on the person.
Right.
But I do believe their top 5 were the top 5 best matches of the week.
I'm surprised Chaz didn't get mad that you didn't put Tamina at number 1.
Anthony, we were doing so good all show. God damn, man.
But you know what?
Let's be on the tag team turmoil. I know you were celebrating, especially when she hit that super kick.
So the funny thing is this: I picked him to win. And I was like, all right, cool, fine. Yay, they won. It helps my score. That's the only reason I wasn't happy. It's because they helped my score. And it absolutely disgusts me that the crowd is chanting for Tamina. And I'm like, y'all know she's garbage. They're cheering her out of pity because they know she.
Come out of the closet, come join us. We know you love her.
All right.
Rather love.
Let's get into April 18th.
More? Fuck.
I'm done. I'm done with the Tamina conversation for now. So April 18th, we got our honorable mentions, right? So we have Swerve Scott versus Leon Ruff on NXT. This is actually gonna go quicker. So our next honorable mention would be Drew versus Randy versus Braun on Raw. Honorable mention, Bobby Lashley versus Riddle on Raw. And our last honorable mention will be Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn on SmackDown. We break into the top 10. Cesaro versus Jey Uso is number 10 from SmackDown. Number 9, Alexander Hammerstone versus Mil Muertes on MLW. So if you guys haven't seen Fusion yet, you guys go watch that match. It was phenomenal.
Fire.
So number 8 is going to be the Young Bucks versus Death Triangle on AEW Dynamite. I like that.
You know what's funny? And that was almost my favorite match of the week. I know I hate the Young Bucks. I hate them with a passion. I do. But that match was really good. It was a Young Bucks match. Don't get me wrong. It was a Young Bucks match, but it was a good match. Did it get 5 stars? It did get 5 stars. I wouldn't have gave it 5 stars, but it was a damn good tag match.
So let's get into number 7, MSK versus Killian Dane and Drake Maverick on NXT. I liked it. I'm gonna be honest. The finish was great, and I can rank that one over them. Let's get into number 6. This is probably the match. I don't know. I feel like this match maybe could have been ranked higher, but I kind of kept it low. Chris Jericho versus Dax Wilder on AEW. And it was good. There was good parts, but I got number 6. Number 5 is the Viking Raiders versus Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander on Raw. And I'll be real, it was because the Viking Raiders came back. I was invested because it was them. Number 4, the New Day versus Jackson Riker and Elias on Raw. So let's get into number 3. These are our top 3 matches. Darby Allin versus Matt Hardy on AEW. I'm just going to say that's starts number 3. Number 2, Kushida versus Santos Escobar on NXT. And then our number 1 match, I've already talked about it earlier in the broadcast. Josh Alexander versus TJP on Impact. I can't stop raving about that match.
Yeah, we know you put it on Twitter. You tagged 3 Count Podcast.
County TJP.
Yeah, I know TJP, right? They liked your tweet.
They did.
So they appreciate it.
TJP. If you need to.
But you know what's funny is that this is the second time that I legitimately have put over like his work. But even when we did with Rahit Raju, and we were like, dude, this match stole the show, and we got likes from them.
That's facts. Because I think that match when he had I was like, that match was actually really, really good.
Stole the show.
That was Sacrifice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, Cliff, your power rankings. You had a big power rankings this past. I had to do 2 weeks worth, and then the top 20. So, I don't really see a problem with it. Like I said, the week prior, so WrestleMania week, the top 5 matches you had on there could be interchangeable. Yeah, that's guys. That's the show. This was a wild, crazy. The crazy thing about it, this was a wild show. We've been gone for 2 weeks, which is crazy. We never go 2 weeks without a show. So I guess that this was all due. So for all of our fans who stuck with us on our live stream, thank you so much for sticking with this wild show. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like, comment, tell us about what you thought as far as debate topics. If you have a point that you want to make that you feel like should be said, put it in the comment section and talk about it with us. Mention us on Twitter. Twitter is the best place to have a debate with us. All right. You love the debate show and you want to debate with us any day of the week, get on Twitter, 3count_pod. Mention us on Twitter, and I bet you one of us will come back with you and debate you back. So definitely do that, especially Cliff. If you're on TikTok, Cliff was always on TikTok.
I'm always on TikTok.
So if you want to debate with Cliff on TikTok, definitely do that. So follow us on TikTok at 3countpod. I'm the guy on Twitter, so if you want to debate with me on Twitter, I'm always on Twitter. Twitter is always up at work, so I'm always plugged in on Twitter all week. So definitely follow us and talk to us on Twitter at 3count_pod. So like I said, subscribe, comment, follow, share, all that on all of our social medias. The 3 Count Podcast. You know where to find us. The number 3 on everything. And make sure you buy a shirt. ProWrestlingTees.com/3CountPod. Cliff and Lou got 3 Count Podcast merch on. Definitely go get yourself one. We're trying to get a Anthony L. Diabetes shirt. So if you buy more shirts,
we're going to talk about this. Okay. So I'm going to cut you off here. Okay.
We got to wrap this up.
And I apologize for that. I'm cutting you off. Let's talk about something here.
I'm trying to close. Man.
Sorry. So, as many of my friends and my family have found out that I have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. My A1C was 12.2, which is really high. It's scary high, not to mention my blood sugar or my blood pressure is always high. So I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my wife because she's implemented a new meal plan. She's making sure I'm taking my pills because I'll forget them. To my fans out there, to our fans out there, diabetes, as much as we're joking about it today, diabetes is not something to mess around with. My uncle he died from coronavirus. He had coronavirus and he ended up passing away, but the majority of his sickness was diabetes because he didn't live a healthy lifestyle in his older age. So with people that know me, know that I'm a jokester. I joke around. This stuff that we're doing today it was joking. It makes me feel comfortable. Helps me fight what I'm doing right now. I'm taking the proper steps to help get better. I'm wearing glasses now because I have to, because all of a sudden my vision just went to shit. And so I apologize if I hurt anybody's feelings with the whole diabetes, but El Diabeto will be back.
Yes. Yes.
So listen,
That's his name.
if you hear that and you don't want a shirt that says El Diabito, something's wrong with you. So I don't know what Anthony, you low key just moved me. So
Just call me the diabetes destroyer.
the crazy thing is, Anthony, you really like, all jokes aside, you really moved me. So Cliff, we'll talk about this. This will be our Monday meeting tomorrow. Let's get something. We can get a shirt out. Let's talk to somebody, get a shirt out, and the funds go to diabetes fund. Something like that. Let's do that. Let's
Really?
all jokes aside. Let's do that. Let's get a El Diabeto shirt out, and we'll donate some funds. So I'm making that a thing as of now. So we'll talk about it, logistics wise, with you, Cliff, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But let's do that. So well then, but still buy a shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees. Regardless, you're gonna get an El Diabeto shirt no matter what. But at this point, we're gonna get that shirt out, because that's too good not to put out there. So we're gonna get a shirt out there. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But get a shirt at our Pro Wrestling Tees shop. Also, get yourself a Red Dog shirt. I didn't mention that earlier today, but I'm rocking a Red Dog shirt today. He's got his up there on in his background. But get yourself a Red Dog shirt. And also get another Red Dog shirt. That's on whatamaneuver.net. So get a Red Dog shirt. Get a Pure Ignorance shirt. Anthony has one, a Duffin season. I got a Pure Violence one, and then there's my fiance just bought her Shock the Culture shirt that has me and my partner Jaden as Black Lightning and Static Shock. So
I won't even say it. Thanks for helping my buddy here out, but they're a great tag team.
We are. We listen, somebody got duffed with brass knuckles yesterday. So you should check us out. We just won gold. So I'm a tag team champion, motherfucker. So go support some indie wrestlers right here. Me and the Red Dog right here. Support some indie wrestlers, buy some merch. Yeah. Follow us on all your favorite podcasting sites, whether it's Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast. Fancy, give us a follow, give us a 5-star frog splash review, and as Cliff gives his dog a side headlock, I am the Don Chaz Evans here with the Red Dog, who is putting another dog in a headlock, here with the Drip Master, drip on those holes all day long, JJ. Lou, the franchise, also known as El Diabetes, will be there next week for another awesome and wild edition of the 3 Count Podcast. Be there or just don't get diabetes.
Drink water. It'll cure diabetes.
Hey guys, it's the host of the 3 Count, Chaz Evans here. Make sure to let you know that I don't run shit, I don't do shit, I just talk shit. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast. What else did you do? You should also follow us on all social medias. That's the Facebook at 3 Count Podcast, the Instagram at 3 Count Pod, and the Twitter at 3Count_pod. Also, if you like us a lot, you should definitely buy a t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/3countpod, and that's the number 3. Don't be an idiot and type in THREE, because you're not going to find anything. So make sure you follow us at 3 Count Pod or 3Count_pod on Twitter and buy a shirt. Be there or be somewhere else.